Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video on Raid Shadow Legends. Now, this video is a touch late because we're all here to talk about the Corrupted Coalition event that went live a couple of hours ago. But honestly, I was waiting for the quest to pop up because for 2 hours or so it was bugged, and you would click on the quest tab and the limited quest. Some of you guys who were here early might have saw that the basic and expert quests were not there. Right, so now they are there, and now we want to talk about that and exactly everything that you're going to need to do. And actually, I didn't even know this was coming. Maybe I was completely out of it this weekend, or I missed whatever event or whatever video from the creators that talked about this, but I actually had no idea it was coming until I saw the Corrupted Coalition event in the events tab this morning. So this is going to be here for the next basically 3 weeks and a half. 26 days. So we got a long time to do that, but there's a lot of stuff that you're going to have to know about this in order to maximize this event. So just to start things off, right now, a really good thing that you can do is farm the Minotaur dungeon. Because with Minotaur dungeon, every 140 energy, but every 5 runs on Super Raid that you do for this, you're going to clear this and get 15 coalition points. Now, this doesn't sound like much, but if you have a lot of outstanding characters that you need to farm Minotaur with for scrolls, now is the best time to do this. This is going to last for about 3 days, and honestly, there have been times where I was like, you know what, it's going to come back before the end of the coalition event, and it might not. Because there's often times where it includes other dungeons like Dragon or Ice Golem, crappy ones you don't particularly want to do, and a lot of times it doesn't actually double dip and overlap some of the other ones. So I would caution, if you do have any Minotaur to farm, get it out of the way now. Also, you have like the next 18 hours or so to finish your clan versus clan points. So if you want to get some extra points double dipping there, you can do that as well. Otherwise, there's the arena ones. You can do this too if you're spamming classic arena, live arena. Talk about that because there's some down there as well. Let's start with the basic limited quest. Get Valor and the Equalizer. So that's going to be easy. Starting tomorrow, there is going to be a 7-day login calendar to get him. So you'll get that no problem. Like, that's basically free. Ascend 20 champions. This is also it just says 20 times, right? So that could be like 20 characters to 1 star. Actually, I want to test that, right? So I think that's the case, but let's just take, I'm going to take like a random rare or like a green. Can we ascend a green? Is that possible? Just, I want to see if that, because it's super easy, and it's, I just want to make sure that it pings that, because you can get this super easy if that's the case. So I should have 8. Yeah, you can. Okay, so you know, this should be pretty easy for you to clear. If you, I don't know, have some problems and you can't do legendary ascensions, things like that, just do it on a green and maybe just like level 2 or 3, and then do that a handful of times and you'll get this cleared. It doesn't seem that difficult to do. Upgrade champions rank 20 times. Again, also not hard to do. You could do this with lower ranks like 2-star to 3-star, 3-star to 4-star, whatever it happens to be. You should get that done. There's a bunch of champion trainings during the fusion event. Anyways, upgrading artifacts. Again, that should be easy. It's only level 12, right? Level 12 accessories. 6 legendary or higher artifacts at the forge. Also shouldn't be that difficult. Hopefully you have some rarity tokens, whatever they're called, right? That you could use to craft some stuff up. Also, right now is CVC, so it would be a good time to do that actually as well. 1 million from selling gold. Now, one thing is I'm not sure is if you get this for autoing Spider, which is ongoing right now, I don't think that it counts because I'm actually in the middle of recording this video. I'm actually autoing Spider. Oh no, I was autoing Spider. So I guess, did I die? No, okay, I'm surprised that it didn't actually keep running. So my question is whether or not, and we're going to find out in a minute because this takes me about 50 seconds to clear this. I want to know if the auto sell feature actually counts towards that quest. I'm thinking not. I thought I was actually still running them as I was recording this, so we'll find out if this ticks up while I'm talking. Clear stage 13 or higher of the Dragon Lair on normal difficulty. Again, pretty easy here. All this dungeon stuff, pretty easy. 13 or higher, that's pretty easy. Now, we have the expert one. Get Hagaba the net. There's a lot of Hagaba quests out there, and the problem is a lot of people are skipping this fusion. So we have Hagaba here, and we have Hagaba on the elite, and Hagaba again here on the event dungeon. So you have about, I don't know, what is that? 1,400 worth of coalition points that are from Hagaba. This might be a small problem, right? Not impossible. You can make this up basically by spamming Minotaur or doing something else to get those points, you know, one of those repeatable quests. But it's going to cost you around the realm of, I would say, about 2,500 to 3,000 energy for each of these elite missions to skip that involve Hagaba. So that could be like 10,000 plus energy to make up these points in the repeatable. So that's just something to keep in mind here. I also want to point out that the elite that says get VARKOS Head Splitter, this essentially guarantees now that we are going to have an event for VARKOS Head Splitter. A lot of people do believe that it's going to be a path event that's going to be for you to get him. Right, just looking back at past major events, also from the Assassin's Creed. I know this is not a collab, but we had a coalition event during Assassin's Creed as well, and they had the other characters in there too. So that's something to note here, that there should be a guaranteed way to get VARKOS Head Splitter since he is in here. Fully unlock Valorant the Equalizer's masteries. This shouldn't be too hard. Upgrade Valorant the Equalizer's skills. This is something else, right? Because you need to put all of the Lego books, the legendary books, both into Valorant and into Hagaba if you actually get her unlocked from the fusion. We're going to be talking about that more next week. I did my video from yesterday about Hagaba and what the plans are. Don't, swap your fusion tokens like right away, just in case you pull somebody that you're thinking about using the fusion tokens on. Awakening, that's fine. Ascension, 6 artifacts to level 6. Oops, because I just did this for my clan versus clan, so I have like 3.5 weeks, I guess, to find some other artifacts to ascend, and then the same thing with only 3 accessories. 6 artifacts, 3 accessories for some points here. Win live arena 50 times, 30 times, and then 50 times. You might as well go straight up to 50. I hate live arena, but I guess I have 20 whatever days to get this done, 26 days, so I'll stomach that in, right? Survive 750 turns against the Hydra on Brutal. For some, this could be challenging, right? When it comes to Hydra, it's harder content, and so some people might have difficulties with this. Complete trials on Brutal Chimera, and then down here on, there's also complete 7 trials on Ultra Nightmare Chimera. This might be a little bit tougher as well. Dragon Lairs 20 or higher using epic champions only. This one could be a challenge for some people. Stage 20 Ice Golem on normal using epics only. Fire Knight Castle, epics only, 20 or higher, and Spider Den, 20 or higher using epics only. So these 4, all using epics or higher. This is something that maybe we'll have to do a separate video on, because it's going to vary a lot depending on your roster. But when it comes to Fire Knight, I think that might be the most difficult one, because you're going to want to still have... This is where if you have Farrakhan the Fat, by the way, is going to make a pretty big deal. Also characters like Cryodan the Blue for wave control, and then a 3-hitter on that A1. But yeah, maybe we might do a separate video on that one. And then finally for dungeons, you have the other ones as well, but it's hard stage 10, Ice Golem, Fire Knight, Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair without using poison debuffs, honestly, should be pretty easy. He's not that difficult. Ice Golem without dying, with all your champions still alive. This one could be a bit more challenging. But you can manually play this, right? So it's really important. You don't have to auto this. So, taking in the best characters that you have, even if it takes a while to clear it, as long as nobody dies. Things like Unkillable, or just debuffing them and buffing yourself to make sure that his Ice Smash doesn't kill you, or you use some Death Brand or Block Revive to kill the minions so that when he does that threshold damage, it doesn't kick your ass. I think this is actually the hardest one. The Fire Knight's hard mode 10 before he takes a turn. You basically need 2 ally assist characters and then 3 freeze champions. That's what you're going to need to be able to do. And they need to be fast enough to knock down the shield, and also basically a bunch of freezes so that his turn bar keeps getting knocked back. This is something that will be hard for most players if you don't have those characters available. And now I already got some points here for Talena Soulseer. And also I did this stage 10 for the Spider's Den with no enemy max HP. I want to point this out because people might be wondering why they're not getting this cleared. So if any of your characters have the War Master Mastery, this is going to trigger because that does enemy max HP damage. So if you have War Master, you have to use non-War Master characters, or you have to basically not have it on them and swap. But I don't think that's worth the gems. So if you can clear this, hard mode, stage 10, Spider, just do not use max HP damage, and do not use anyone with the War Master Masteries. Now, after all of that, what are you going to get? Well, of course, just over time, we're going to get this stuff for free from the player base. And it's when you get further on that, a lot of this stuff is going to help you in a lot of the events during the Fusion event. If you get this 10 full energy potions, that's worth about 400 gems. So hopefully a lot of these things you're just doing anyways, and you're not going too far out of your way to clear. Things like the repeatables, again, for this one, like I'm just farming Minotaurs. I might be doing this more now, you know, but I am eventually going to be doing that Minotaur, so I'm just kind of doing more multis now to do the Minotaur to get the points for these coalition points is what I want for that stuff, right? So to go back to some of the other rewards, there's some shards along the way, some Lego books, you know, some 4-star and 5-star basalts. A 5-star basalt at the end is very rare. I don't have a single rank 6 relic, so maybe one day I will, especially my cat's gaze. That's something I'm thinking about. And of course, near the top, you're going to get some mythical forge materials for the relics, and something that is also very valuable, especially from this one here. So there's some good stuff in here. I wouldn't worry about it too much, though, you know, when it comes to these elite, these Hagaba ones. It's a lot of points, but at the end of the day, what are you going to miss if you don't get those? Well, it depends on how much grinding you're doing, the repeatable quests. I guess you might miss out at some of the stuff at the top. So it's probably like this 18k plus. The basalts, the mythical books, and the twisted horns. So they're probably the only thing. The rest of it should be relatively doable, since there is quite a bit of points up for grabs. Aside from that, right? So we'll see how things go. But it's a lot of extra goodies along the way. Something that I wasn't expecting. Maybe it was in the calendar. Maybe I totally missed it in that whole Web of Corruption, like 2-month-long guide or timeline. I actually didn't see that this was coming. So it was a bit of a surprise to me when I woke up this morning. But anyways, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Just wanted to do a little bit of a video on this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.